everybody, and welcome to today's geography lesson. We're going to be having a look at grid references today. Now, for this lesson, you'll need a pen or paper, and also I have attached an activity for geography onto Seesaw so that you can get the template for the code cracking that we're going to be doing at the end of the lesson as your task. So there is an activity on Seesaw that you'll need to have a look at as well. Okay, so in order to understand grid references, it first helps us to recap our knowledge of coordinates, which you will have done in maths at the end of year 4. So we're going to start by having a look at this coordinates grid that's on the screen now. And the way to read coordinates is to go along the corridor first. So read the number along the bottom first. That's your first coordinate. And then we go up the stairs. And then we have a look to see what our second coordinate is. So let's just have a look at an example there. So there's a few questions here trying to identify where on the grid these different places are. And what we're asking you to do now is to use the coordinates, the numbers along the bottom and the side, to explain where they are. So the first question is, where is the lighthouse? So I'm just going to pop a circle around the lighthouse here. There's the lighthouse. So the first thing I'm going to do is go along the corridor. 1, 2, it's here, which is on it's on the 5th line. So the first coordinate, and we always put coordinates into brackets, is 5, because actually it's in the 5th box along. That's box 5. We can see at the bottom there. And then pop a comma. We're going to go up to see what this is the line it rests upon, and that is coordinate 7. So the coordinates for the lighthouse are 5, 7. So what I'd like you to do is have a look at the other places on the map. So we've got the golf course, parking, the viewpoint, cycle path. Don't worry if you don't know exactly what the symbol is to match those places, just have a go. The answers are going to be coming up on the next slide. So in a similar way, on every single map that you will come across, especially an Ordnance Survey map, the map will also be crisscrossed with lots of horizontal and vertical lines, which create squares, which are also known as grids. So these are really useful when it comes to describing exactly where a location is and finding features on a map. And you can see the one on the board here is very similar to the coordinates grid we were looking at, except that the numbers are a little bit larger. And this time they are called Eastings and Northings. So the numbers that lay along the bottom of the grid reference map are called Eastings, and the numbers that are along the side are called the Northings. Northings run from south to north and Eastings run from left to right. So in a similar way to how we use coordinates, we can also use grid references. And because they are 2 digits and 2 digits, they create a 4-figure grid reference. So in total, when you are writing your grid reference, you will have 4 digits today. So we're just going to have a look. First of all, we've taken the map away now. We're just going to have a look at this pink box here. I'm just going to pause for a second and ask you, what do you think the grid reference will be for that square? Hopefully you've remembered that the easting goes first, and that would be 32 because it is on line 32. So 32 would be the first number, and then 43 would be the second number. So the grid reference would be 32, 43. That phrase that we use in coordinates is really useful here, so just think along the corridor and up the stairs. I always find that really useful. So on the following slide, you're going to be given some different clues and grid references, and you're going to be using the map and those grid references to find places. There are then circled letters once you've written out the place name, and they actually then form another code. And after you've unscrambled that, you will be given another place, and then your final challenge is to try to write the grid references for that. Another superstar challenge, if you are ready for it today, is using the map that's on the screen now. I'd like you to write 5 of your own grid reference questions using this map. For example, you may say, in which coordinates or grid reference is Oakham School? And the answer would be 13, 24. As Oakham School is here. I'd love to see you having a go at the challenge today, as well as cracking the code in the first task. I look forward to seeing all of your work. Remember, you can upload it onto Seesaw because there is an activity for it today. Speak to you soon.